Howdy again, folks. Well, yet again, here we are on the 97 Dodge Ram 1500. What we got to do today is I'm going to replace the hub assembly on the passenger side here, the front passenger side. I'm feeling a little bit of movement in there when I go around a curve really slow. Have the wheel turned kind of tight. It kind of has a little pull to it or whatever, kind of like that. Sounds like, or it feels like it is when it's in the four-wheel drive, but of course it's not in four-wheel drive. So anyway, I think that's what it is. I'm actually not sure, but here I got the new part, and we're going to get into it and find out if that's what it is or not. Well, generally I break the lug nuts a little bit loose before I jack it up, but I jacked it up first because I was hoping that you'd be able to see this move a little bit on camera, but I don't think you'll be able to see it or not. It's really more, I feel it more than I can see it. I mean, yes, you can kind of see it moving, but I just can feel a little bit of a clunkiness to it there. So anyway, we'll take the lug nuts off then, and hopefully they'll come off without any problem. This 3/4 inch here. This is. And that's why I normally break them loose first, because sometimes they don't come loose. This one's 11/16. I just have one on here that's a little different size. I'm going to grab a 4-way and see if I can get this off without letting it down. Okay, I got a log wedged underneath here. We'll see if hopefully I'll get enough of a bite where this won't spin. Oh my. There we go. There's, at least it's going to bite. And this one here. Well, that doesn't seem to fit on there. That's too big. .11/16 doesn't seem to fit on there. God dang it. Try to hammer this on and then put the breaker bar on. I think it just stripped. Well, it looks like we got a little grinding to do. I didn't anticipate this, but anyway, I got a little grinder here, so this is just an electric one. And hopefully I got enough stones to get through all of it. And here's what it looks like so far, folks. I'm just grinding away at it, trying to keep off the sides of the wheel as much as I can, but anyway, we're getting there. And one good thing about it is the new hub assembly has new studs on it, so I'll just have to get another lug nut for this. But here's where we're at so far. Finally, folks, it finally broke free after grinding and using the chisel and pounding and drilling. Finally got it out of there. And the wheel can come off. Alright, well, hopefully we can get this done before it gets too dark. I started this right at about 3 o'clock and it's about 5:30 now. So I'm just putting this in between that caliper and the brake, and I'm just slowly pushing. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure, just steady pressure. And I'm pushing on the back of the brake pad there, not pushing on the rotor. Okay, and that'll be enough on this. That's just enough to spread that apart, and I'll take the brakes off now. But if I was putting new brakes on, I would probably take it a little bit farther than that, but that's all we need for this. And you know, I'm sorry I can't remember the size of this. This is actually something I just made here, and it says 3/8, and that looks about right. So probably about 3/8 Allen wrench here. There we go. Alright, we got them just pulled free. Don't need to take them out, but just slip this off. You can wire this up, or if you can find a place for it to sit, that's alright. It'll probably sit okay right there. Put that back in there. Maybe it'll stay. The brake rotor comes off, and we're down to the hub assembly. That's what this is. Alright, just got a pair of needle nose pliers here, which has got a bunch of Bondo and stuff on it, is what that is. See that flaking off? Yeah. Grab my regular pliers, I got that started. There we go. Oh, and it's going to break probably. And that's alright. You know, I don't think they come with a new one when you get your hub assembly, but I've got a bunch and I'll have to go grab some, I guess. Got a little hammer. I wish I had my little hammer, but I don't. Just gonna pull that out. Alright. This socket is 1 1/16". That's what it is. Oh yeah. No, I forgot something. Alright, you see I've got a bar wedged in there. That's what I forgot. So this loose maybe. Or not. Alright, I've got the wheel turned a little bit. Big old cheater bar I'm going to put on here. This is a 3/4 inch drive ratchet. So, my goodness, not usually this tight. It is actually going to bend that bar. Things are not going my way today. Alright, well, got a different bar in there. I wouldn't think it's going to bend. The lugs are bending. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to do. There we go. That shouldn't be that tight. The torque specs for that net going on is like 175 is all it is, 175, and it wouldn't be that tight. I am not going to be able to put it to that specifications because, like I said, this is a 3/4 inch drive ratchet, and I do not have a torque wrench that's 3/4 inch drive, so that's just going to have to go by feel, I guess. And I'm sure glad that came off though. I was getting worried. I've actually done this quite a few times on this truck. I've had this truck since 1998, and it's a 97 as I mentioned, and it had probably like 22,000 miles on it when I bought it. But anyway, so I've had to do it several times throughout the years on both sides. Grab my socket for the backs of these. Okay, so the backs of here goes, backs of these, there's 3 of them, 1, 2, and then the other one's down here. I'll have to most likely turn the wheel to get that one loose. And oh, that's a 9/16 socket. There we go. And that's just a 12 pointed bolt there, so your socket fits right on it. We'll go ahead and pull these all the way out before we turn that, because sometimes you can't get them babies out. They get in a bind against whatever. I'll be right back. I'm going to turn that wheel. You might not be able to see that that bolt very well, but it's just right here. I'm just gonna, this is the shield for the brake calipers there, the brake pads, and the rotor, I mean. And anyway, I'm just gonna put this flat chisel, just kind of work it in there, kind of come in, work it around. It's already separate. You can probably see that there, that thing's starting to fall loose. Give it a whack down here. Not trying to bend that shield up or anything. It might just come loose now. I have to grab that washer out of there. And there we go. You just got to remember the way this stuff goes on. And see, you can see you got the flat side and flat side here. And that's going to go right up here where the caliper goes. So we'll remember that and set it off to the side. Well, there's no need to take this out. Just feeling that bearing, U-joint in it. It feels pretty good. This actually doesn't feel too bad. I can't tell. It's not really all that loose. Knuckle feels pretty good. I don't know. Well, we got to replace it now anyway, don't we? Now the back of this that's what it looks like, and it does not matter which one you line up with which hole. So just as long as you line this thing up right. Grab some WD-40. I'm just going to spray these bolts that come in the back here, just thread with some WD-40. I've got a piece of cardboard laying down here, so don't get the concrete too messed up. And if I can feed these in here, and I'll have to turn the wheel to get them fit in there right, I guess. And let's see if I can turn a little bit. I got one. Won't be able to get that top one until, and I also put a little just bearing grease on here on these splines just to help it along next time. That's good to have some on there, but also to make sure it doesn't get seized up on there whenever you have to do this again. I don't know how long I'll have this truck. I'm looking right now for another one, but even if I get one, I might probably just keep this one too. Yeah, this one doesn't sound too good, that old one. It's definitely loose, so it's okay that we replace this. And I just about forgot to put our little shields on here. Remember, I've got that one back behind there just the way it came off. I'm just going to try to... This is always a little bit of a pain in the butt, just to get it started and keep them on there right. Just put a little WD-40 in there too. Maybe that'll help it go in a little bit. Or maybe that grease might have been better. But that's what it's getting. So just gonna work. There we go. Went right in there. Actually went in there pretty nice. Gotta be careful not to cross thread these things either, you know, because when you're putting it in, it's not setting straight. It's actually setting pretty flat on there right now. So they're turning in just by finger tight here.
get that in there before I tighten the others down in case it needs to move a little bit.
Wait till I straighten that out to get that one. Now the torque specs on this one's 125 foot-pounds. I do have my old torque wrench here, so I can't see it with that light. Put our washer back on and our nut. Now, as I told you, I will not be able to torque this down to 175 pounds, but you saw what 125 was, so I'm just going to feel. This thing is seeing what's going on. There we go. I don't know what was catching on there. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different feel because this is such a lot bigger ratchet, but I don't think I could be any worse than what it was. Okay, get that bar back on here without screwing up our studs. Screw up the threads for sure. I'm really going to call that good. Well, I hope the light's not too bad for you guys. It is getting a little dark out here. Hard for me to see. In fact, I cannot see that hole, and it's right there. I'm going to have to put that bar back up in there. And oh, I guess I'll tighten it a little bit instead of loosen it, since we've already gotten that far. I'm just trying to line that hole up with one of the grooves in that castle nut. Just a little more. Can't get it. Probably still not quite enough. Just about though. Don't know if I moved it. Not much. Perfect. I'll show you what I was after there. See that? Sorry. See that hole there? Got it lined up with the groove so we can put our cotter pin in there. Alright. Which my cotter pin There we go. Now I'm just gonna grab that, pull it out. We'll just curl that on up, and that one can stay right in there in the groove at the bottom there. That was about a, that cotter pin was about 2 1/4 inches long, and I'd say about 3/16 inch wide. So you know, these hubs don't come with one, so you know, sometimes you can use the old one, but a lot of times you have to replace it, because mine broke, and I could have used that one, just one side broke, but you know, I have a bunch of them, so there was no problem to find one to fit. So all right, now back on with our rotor. Tried not to touch the rotor with my greasy hands. Where are you? Don't tell me this. Okay, scared me for a minute. I thought it wasn't going to fit or something. Yeah, those things, they just kind of fit a little loose on there sometimes till you get everything on there. Now with the well, let me go grab a light. Well, I probably got you guys on the wrong side, but there's really not much to see. Don't think I could get this in there for you too well anyway. Just a matter of those 2 bolts that we took out before, getting them lined up. And let me actually, these right here, these things right here, they kind of stick out sometimes. See that? It's moved back. Just got to make sure they're sort of just level with that. Should get right on in. Well, I say that. Oh, that bolt right there. There we go. Just got to get it lined up right. That one started. Just got to kind of wiggle it around till you feel it. And I believe I got that one started. I should have sprayed that with some WD-40 too, but I didn't, did I? Just going to come off of that one and up to this one just to make sure I got it started. Pretty sure I did. Again, that's a 3/8 inch Allen. It's going in so easy, I didn't know if I did have it, but I do. There we go. That's going to tighten up. Don't know what the torque specs on these. I should, but I don't ever do it. I just kind of do it by feel. I've never had a problem, so. About that much. Come on, baby. Come on out of there. Yeah, that feels good. Back on with our wheel. Minus one lug nut. I'll have to go Well, it looks like I lost you again, folks. I had it running there for a little while, and it was still recording when I didn't realize it was. In my panic, I was trying to get some of this stuff. I had to run down to the barn, and anyway, so it kind of ran the battery down more than I thought. So hopefully you saw everything. I just got the lug nuts on, minus the one. I'll have to go get one of those. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to take the jack stand out and drop the jack down, drop the truck down. So, you know, normally it's not this difficult. Usually they're fairly easy. You know, those nuts on there can be kind of that center nut there, hub nut. It can be kind of hard to get off. That was unusually hard, but that's usually about the only difficulty. As long as your wheel comes off, you see it's really not that big of a deal to do. So hopefully that helps some of you if you're trying to do this. And one more thing, folks, I forgot to mention, make sure when you get done with this and you drop this down, get in your truck and pump your brakes up a little bit, because, you know, we spread those that caliper, we spread those brake pads away from the rotor. So pump your brakes a few times. It's just one side here, so it's not a big deal, but pump your brakes a few times, get them tight again, and before you start going, and you won't have a panic there or anything. I wouldn't want you to run out into traffic or into something else or whatever and not be able to stop. So anyway, that's all there is for this one, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.